So Titanfall has seemed like this sort of roller coaster of emotions. You know, the first one came out, got super excited because I absolutely loved it. Then you realize there just wasn't enough content here, so then that quickly died down. Titanfall 2 was announced, got super excited about that. Then we played the first tech test, and I'm left wondering what the hell did they do? You know, all you had to do was take what made the first one great and expand on it, and then it's just like, how do you mess this up? So then a lot of people, including myself, were complaining. Some people didn't like that. But mainly what I noticed, the people who really liked the tech test were the Call of Duty players and people who had never played the first Titanfall. So they really didn't even know what it was that the game was missing. But anyway, they did go back and they did change some things around. And the second tech test actually gave me a little bit more hope because I did think that the game played a little bit better, even though it still didn't feel just quite right. And then now here comes the announcement that we're not going to be able to try out the game before launch because Respawn is excluding this game from EA Access, which is a bit strange on the outset because EA Access has been giving discounts for Titanfall 2 right up until just a few days ago. And now there's no longer any discounts. They've pulled that. There's no free trial coming. And now only a vague statement from Respawn about how maybe it'll enter EA Access at some later time. Now, you could come up with a list of reasons as to why it's not part of EA Access when basically, you know, every other game EA has published has been part of the system since it was first announced. One, you know, the campaign could be super short, and so they don't want you beating it before the release, which honestly doesn't hold up that well, I don't think, as an argument, because I believe there's been past games where they limited you as far as how far you could go into the story. I'm thinking Battlefield Hardline they did that, but I could be off on that. Two, if things haven't changed that much since the last tech test, then you would be disappointed, probably, a lot of you. And so then you wouldn't buy the game, and so they may not just want you playing the game because they're thinking, well, you know, we told you it was a pre-alpha build, but to be honest, it was really, you know, that's the way it is kind of deal. And I think what's really going to be interesting is when the embargo for Titanfall 2 is going to be lifted. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if they feel so good about the game that they let reviewers go at it and release their reviews, you know, a week or two before the game launches, or if it's going to be one of those things where they're going to be like, oh, well, we got to turn on the servers, so you can't put out a review until after the game is released. And I think that really screams for this game not letting us have it on EA Access early, and if they don't let reviewers post up their opinions of the game early on, then I think that really points to them not being sure whether or not they have a good game, which of course is a danger. But I think probably the best reasonable explanation to this is, I mean, look, Respawn isn't an EA developer. EA is simply publishing the game. So really, it's Respawn's call as to what happens to their game. So if you don't want people playing it for free, that's certainly their right. And it's certainly your right to not go out and buy it now. But to me, the game just feels like it's sort of being led to the slaughterhouse, like it's being just left out to wither away and slowly die. Because I don't know if this is going to happen, but this game, I think, needs to be delayed. Look, the tech test didn't appear to get a ton of people excited for this game. I hear people talking about getting excited for Battlefield 1, for Call of Duty, for Mafia, for all these other games that are releasing this holiday. I hear hardly anyone talking about this being on their most wanted list. And that's the other thing. It's insane for this game to be launching with Call of Duty, with Battlefield 1. I mean, they've got it launching within a week of Battlefield 1, which to me is just crazy. And it makes no sense whatsoever. And if you kill off the community at the launch, it's never going to recover. It's going to be a repeat of what the problem was with Titanfall 1. Now, if they delayed the game till February or March, I think this game would be so much better. It would be in a much better position. It would probably be a lot more polished, but you also have a much better chance of surviving and drawing in a crowd, because by then, you know, people may be ready for another shooter. They may be tired of Call of Duty or Battlefield. But if you think Titanfall 2 is going to be able to compete against Call of Duty and Battlefield, two games launching around the same time, I just don't see that happening, even if it's a good game. which hopefully it is. But I really think they'd be doing themselves a favor by delaying Titanfall 2. I just don't think this is a good time to put out this game. Post your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you agree with me or not? That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.